Egypt and the classical world cross-cultural encounters in antiquity. The Kellis Mammisi, a painted chapel from the final centuries of the ancient Egyptian religion. Roman tradition. The combination of lotus flowers with classical-style decoration is also found at the bottom of the walls of the Mammisi, where a series of broad, elongated panels were painted, each separated by lotus flowers. Evidently, the painters of these elements were familiar with Egyptian iconography. This familiarity is even more apparent from the paintings on the highest part of the vault of the Mammisi, a wide bund that spanned the length of the room and that was decorated largely with paintings in the Roman tradition. The three large patterns on this bund are familiar from the classical repertoire as known from the walls of houses and public buildings, but the central element is more complicated. This pattern was constructed around a large circular element of radiating scales or feathers, which is more familiar from mosaic floors. At the heart of this circular feature was, probably a painted bust of Isis Demeter, of which only a part remains. The circle is surrounded in the four corners of the pattern by four seated goddesses set amid a sprinkle of white flowers on a green ground, that visually suggests a sky with stars. One of these corner figures has been reconstructed from fragments. The appearance and system of representation style of the goddesses is purely Egyptian, with tight red dresses and long black hair, but the circular part of the painting is in the Roman system of representation, even when it includes Isis as its central image. The most remarkable aspect of this painting is the way that the ancient artistess took two familiar designs from two different artistic traditions, and merged them into a new, powerful image. The juxtaposition of the two styles has added a new layer of meaning to the circular mosaic pattern, by turning it into an image of the sky held up by the four supports of heaven. The latter are well known from circular images of the zodiac in Egypt, such as the one from Dendera now in the Musée du Louvre, Paris, and the ceilings of two painted tombs in Karat el Musawaka in Dakhla Oasis. One of the latter, in the tomb of Petu Bastis, has the goddesses in the same posture as in the Kellis painting, and set against a background of stars, but the circular zodiac they are supporting is rendered according to the Egyptian system of representation. The Kellis painting demonstrates a high level of artistic freedom and an originality of design that is unparalleled in Egyptian temples. The combination of two systems of representation, the Egyptian and the Hellenistic or Roman, is familiar from tomb decoration in Rome, Egypt, in which the religious content of the tomb or an item of tomb equipment, such as a shroud or a coffin, was made according to Egyptian conventions, whereas the individual who was the focal point of the tomb's decoration was rendered in the more contemporary Hellenistic or Roman style. In this context, I employ the term style in a technical sense, as a system of representation, in which the Egyptian artist worked according to a strict canon of proportions and with frontal, or perspective, images. In this respect, the Egyptian artists differed from those of other cultures, and it was a difference that was consciously applied on funerary items and tomb walls in the Roman period. Only in the Kellis Mammisi were the two styles equally divided over the walls and ceiling of a shrine. The integration of the two systems of representation in a single painting, as on the Kellis chapel ceiling, may indicate that the same painters were versed in two different styles, especially since there are also other locations in the Mammisi where the styles are found juxtaposed in a minor way. Unfortunately, there is no way to be certain about this. We do not know anything about the persons responsible for the design of the Mammisi paintings or about the painters themselves. In general, we do not know much about the organization of the work of decorating temple walls. Each temple was different, and designing the layout and contents of each wall could involve much intricate planning, in ways that we are only beginning to understand.